your tournament MCs, Mr. Tony Roberts and Mr. Brandon Zielinski.
Good morning, Gainesville! Woo! Y'all went back to sleep. Hey, good morning, Gainesville! Welcome to the 2018 First Robotics Competition. This year's First Power Up. You know this is a tribute to the early games of video games. Teams out here to the arcade, compete and defeat the boss. Now we have a wonderful team competing here. Where? Here. There we go. We have some wonderful teams competing here this weekend, including 7 new rookie teams. Give those 7 new rookie teams a huge round of applause. And one more, can we give a huge Georgia welcome to our teams coming here all the way from North Carolina and Indiana. So excited to have them here. Now, the two guys who created First, founder Dean and distinguished advisor Woody Flowers, as well as the current president of First, Mr. John.
Welcome to the First Robotics Competition. It's almost time real.
This is real life. As you work to defeat the boss in Power Up, you know you'll make another great competition filled with gracious professionalism.
With the support of your mentors, parents, sponsors, suppliers, and our terrific event volunteers, many of whom are alumni, there would be no First.
Led the way for you with their dedication, assistance, and talents for making this real.
And as you help First make this a better world, you continue to impress with your creativity, teamwork, and resolve.
So a big thanks from First to you.
This year, you really are in the game.
And taking it to the next level.
So good luck to all. And it's time for
First Power Up.
All right, our first speaker this morning is here to welcome us to the beautiful campus of Riverside Military Academy. Please welcome Mr. Jamie Green, the Dean of Academics here at the Riverside Military Academy.
Believe it or not, I don't normally get this kind of round of applause when I like to speak to students. Well, welcome to all the parents, mentors, coaches, sponsors, and most importantly, participants. This is a real highlight on our academic calendar, and we couldn't be happier to have you with us today. We invite you today to enjoy our campus. It's a beautiful day, so please get outside if you're fortunate enough to have a break. Sit down by one of our lovely trees, look out towards the mountains, or explore our buildings. And if you're brave enough, strike up a conversation with one of our young students. I know they wear uniforms, but they're teenagers just like you. And they come from over 30 different countries, 28 different states, and we're just really happy to have them here on campus to help host you. I look out, I know there are some really excited folks here today, and I know there are some really tired people here today. Yeah, but that's okay, because we get pretty tired here too. And we believe that the world is run and led by tired people. So, I'll finish not by wishing you good luck, by wishing you, but instead wishing you good skills, good teamwork, and a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Green. Now, this competition is only possible with the help of our local Georgia sponsors, representing one of our amazing sponsors right here in Georgia. Welcome from the Coca-Cola Corporation, the Global Research and Development Officer, Mrs. Nancy Kwan.
Wow, this is so cool. I think I want to go back to school. It's just amazing. Hello, I'm Nancy Kwan, and I'm with the Coca-Cola Company. And you guys probably know Coca-Cola, but we also make things like vitamin water, juices, dairies, tea. So we're really excited to be a sponsor here and to be able to provide beverages for you guys and for the events. One of the things, so my role is the Chief Technical Officer for Coca-Cola North America. And what does that mean? So we do a lot. So my team has a bunch of scientists, engineers, technologists, and we think we are actually the brains of the organization. So we have people that work on innovation, so new products, anything you guys taste that are new products, whether it's a new juice product, a new vitamin water, a new Powerade. So they're working on the benchtop with the science from their background. We do new packaging. So packaging is, you know, things that hold the products, that make sure the products are safe and stable. And then we're also working on new pieces of equipment. So dispensing machines, vending machines, things like that. That's where scientists and engineers are incredibly important for our business. What I'm seeing here, I mean, robotics is amazing. Imagine in the future if a robot, you guys, through the robotic sensor technology, a personalized beverage just for you. So we think there's a lot of opportunity. I'm so inspired by what I'm seeing here with the kids, you know, with you guys working together in teams. You've got challenges, and you guys are following your passion. So I would just like to encourage you guys, continue following your passion. There's a bright future ahead. Be bold, be courageous, and, you know, good luck today with your competition, and I hope to see you guys in the state finals. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we all know how important robots are in the manufacturing and assembly field. Here to tell us about how important robots are becoming in the medical field, please welcome Dr. Sujata Gill. She's a bariatric surgeon at the Northeast Georgia Medical Center here in Gainesville.
Good morning, everyone. It is such an honor to be here today, and I want to thank you because as I look around, I am so inspired by all of you. As he mentioned, I use a robot almost every day to help do surgery for patients, and that has changed our field of being able to provide care for people. I wanted to thank you all for not only impressing me, but inspiring the next generation that's going to follow you. And I brought my kids who are part of that generation here today to see all the amazing things that you're doing. So thank you for being good role models. I would like to say, and I may sound old, but your parents will all know who I'm talking about, that I feel like there's advice that I got from an actor named Denzel Washington. Again, he's probably before your time, but he said to a student group when I was about your age, don't be afraid to fail. And so always remember that. Give it your all. Best of luck. Do your best. It's okay if you fail. Just fail big. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, many of our teams here today are fortunate enough to receive funding from this next wonderful sponsor. They invest in you, the future innovators of tomorrow. Please welcome the Foundation Administrator for NCR, Ms. Yvonne Whitaker.
Good morning. This is so fun. I love the first competition where everybody is just like, it's so much excitement and you've got this whole long month ahead of you and everything, so this is fun. Thank you so much for having me again. I want to tell you really quickly a little bit about NCR. NCR has been shaping the future since 1884, right? So we have been changing the way people everywhere shop and eat and travel and bank. We were kind of a tech company before there were tech companies. Yeah. So this next sentence I want to read because this is going to explain to you why we support FIRST Robotics. This is exactly why. When you are a company who has been around as long as we are, you don't survive in this world as long as we are without really having a vision and following a path. And we at NCR, I think this just really sums it up. We never stop asking why. We never stop improving. We never back down from challenges, even if that means changing everything. Who does that sound like? All of you on your teams, right? At the beginning of the year, you put that robot together, and then you test it out, and you work on the game, and then you go to competitions. And every single time when I come to these, at the next competition, it's a little bit different. So that's why we support this organization, because you all are learning the skills that we are going to need in tech companies and other companies in the U.S. going forward. So I just want to say good luck.
Thank you. Now, last but certainly not least, representing the group of people here that keep all of our machines running, that's the incredible service of the machine shop. Please welcome from Georgia Power, Mr. Glenn Barnes, the Gainesville External Affairs Manager.
Good morning. I'm Glennis Barnes, and I'm glad to be here today representing Georgia Power Company. I'm glad that we can sponsor this event. As a STEM company, what you're doing today is very important to us as a company, because you may not realize it, but Georgia Power is highly automated in everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. From everything out there, from running our plants to the switches on our poles, everything is electronic now. We can do remote switching, so what you're doing in this robotics competition is important to us, because we have a lot of automation in our systems now that keep the power on. So, for instance, let's say if there was a power outage today, there's some remote operations where we can actually get these lights back on without having guys coming out to go climb a pole or go up in a bucket truck. So what you're doing today in science and engineering and technology is very important. But also what you're doing today is good for you because it also teaches you teamwork. We have a lot of teamwork at Georgia Power. As they say, I'm the External Affairs Manager here in Gainesville, and I'm responsible for customer service, operations, engineering, and the technology that goes on in our day-to-day business. So I make sure that all the pieces come together. And what you're doing today as a team in this robotics competition is bringing yourselves together as a team and making something happen. And I think that's a great thing. And with that in mind, let's compete. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, now it's time to meet the judges. To introduce this group of distinguished volunteers, please welcome Mr. Chip McDaniel, President of the GeorgiaFIRST Board of Advisors and of Automation Direct.
Good morning, GeorgiaFIRST teams and our guests from northern states. Let me get started with some introductions here of these wonderful judges you see in the blue shirts. I'm going to start with Dr. Brian Haynes. If you can stand up.
He's the Senior Technical Director with Kimberly-Clark Corporation.
Mr. Doug Huggins.
President of MindStar Magic and Mentalism.
Ms. Julie O'Hara.
The Project Engineer with Automation Direct.
Ms. Maria Clay.
Senior Engineering Manager with Cisco.
Ms. Vicki Bodman.
Senior Director of Operations of MailChimp.
Mr. Frank Borowick.
The Engineering Manager of Trenton System.
Ms. Sue Miller.
President of Sue Miller and Associates.
Mr. Eric Kaufman.
Senior Director of Digital Solutions, General Electric.
Mr. Will Dolan.
Controls Engineer with FrentPack.
Mr. Brian Prokes.
Executive Assistants with Johnson Research and Development.
Dr. Lonnie Johnson.
Founder and CEO of Johnson Research and Development.
Mr. Bill Hall.
CEO of Murray Plastics.
Mr. Justin Eggert.
General Manager of Services and Engineering for General Electric.
Mr. Brian Cooksey.
Director of Operations, Training and Development with Shaw Industries.
Mr. Adam Thompson.
Intellectual Property Attorney with Thomas Hostemeyer LLP.
Miss Casey Scott.
Senior Director, Corporate Business Development, CAT Technologies.
And Mr. Ron McGarry.
Industrial Systems Technology Instructor and Director of Mechatronics.
Our lovely two judge assistants have joined us down here, Miss Dwayna Crawford.
A lab coordinator with Kimberly-Clark.
And Terry DiCarlo.
The executive assistant for Kimberly-Clark.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, judges. We know these judges have a difficult job ahead of them, judging with all these great teams here this weekend. Now, let's meet another group of people that you'll see down here on the field. Their job is to make sure that we play within the rules. They don't need an introduction, apparently. But remember, their rulings are final. There will be no video replays. And without further ado, all of your referees, introduced by your head referee, Mrs. Jan Sperlin.
Hey guys, welcome. We're glad to be here. I'm excited. I'm Jan Sperlin. I've been your head referee since the beginning of the first robotics competition, something like 16 years ago. So let me introduce my crew to you. I will tell you that at any point in time, there will only be 4 referees and myself on the field. At the point in time that the other people are not on the field, they will be doing volunteer work. But this is our opportunity to make sure that across all of the districts that you participate in, that we are refereeing them consistently and make sure that we are calling the rules the same way. So first up, I've got Mr. Greg Welsh. He is a senior engineer from Verizon. He is also a former FRC mentor. Next up, I have Mr. Bert Adams, who is a retired engineer from NCR. Next up is Brandon King. He is a senior at Georgia Southern, studying mechanical engineering. He is a FIRST alumni and came off of Team 4188 that, I don't know, I think it made it to Einstein last year? Next up is Mr. Emil Decker, who is a retired educator and a former robot coach. Now I get to my newbies, who I'm excited to have. So first off, we have Mr. Dan O'Hara, who's the director of AI at Accenture. Next is Miss Sarah Storer. She is at Georgia Tech. She is a junior studying computer science. She also is an alumni from a team somewhere out of Louisiana. We don't see those guys. Next is Grant Champagne, who is also at Georgia Tech and is a freshman. He's studying industrial engineering. He is also an alumni out of Team 4112, also maybe one of those little Einstein teams. And then finally, we have Miss Radhika Raja, who is at Mercer, who is a freshman studying computer science. She is an alumni off of Team 3815 out of North Forsyth. Let's see if I can get my words right. So at any rate, we've got a great crew here, and we are excited to help you guys learn the rules. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Jan. As always, read the manual, read the team updates. It's all there. Along with a fair competition, safety is a huge priority of FIRST. We want you to have fun and be safe at the same time. Somehow it's possible. Please welcome the lead safety advisors, Fatisha Boyd and Zoel Zhang. They're around. You'll definitely see them around. They'll be in the pits.
They're safely walking to the field.
There you go. Give a hand. Now, congratulations to Team 2877, the Ligerbots from Newton, Massachusetts, for their excellent safety award video. Let's check it out.
Play it safe this season. Sleep to power up. Being alert is important for staying safe. Collect those safety glasses. Pick up parts and tools and put them away to score points. Oh no, a falling battery. Don't cross that acid pit. Know your team's procedures when dealing with hazards. Look out for that robot. Make sure it's disabled before you come near it. You're almost there, just a few more steps. Now you can level up for safety.
And speaking of safety, teams, we want to make sure you remember to have a safety plan just in case. Mentors and coaches, please be sure to communicate that plan to all members of your team. Should include things like where to meet in the event of an emergency, note all the exits in the pits and the arena. Some of the exits may be behind you. And in the case of an emergency, listen for announcements that are made in the field area and in the pits. Thanks.
Now, in FIRST, you learn a lot. You learn engineering and computer skills. You learn communication and grit. Now, colleges and universities recognize this, and they want you. This year, over 200 colleges and universities are making available over $50 million in scholarships. These are available to all FIRST participants and alumni. Other companies are also interested in hiring you as interns. You can find out about these opportunities at the FIRST internship portal. But first, let's hear a little bit more about the FIRST scholarship program.
And remember, here this weekend, you can learn more about alumni and scholarship programs at the scholarship table near the welcome table. Now, in FIRST, we have one award that recognizes individual students. That is the Dean's List Award. Now, I would like to take this moment to ask all of the students who are nominated by their team as a Dean's List semifinalist to please stand and be recognized at this time. We wish you all the best of luck in your interviews. Thank you for being such terrific leaders here at FIRST.
Now, mentors and coaches are critical to the FIRST experience. We know many of you are mentoring teams in other programs like Junior First LEGO League, First LEGO League, and the First Tech Challenge. Big thanks to you for all of your dedication on behalf of all the FIRST programs. Now, FIRST will meet you wherever you are, whatever your age or ability. There's a FIRST program for you. If you're interested in mentoring, please go to firstinspires.org for more information on all the FIRST programs.
Now, with everything that's happening in the world and recent events that have happened in our education system, we'd just like to take a moment. Please join me in a moment of silence to reflect. Thank you all. And remember that safety is always #1 with us at Georgia First. So remember that if you see something, say something. Now, at this time, I would like to ask all of us to please stand. Welcome our colors presented by the Riverside Military Academy Color Guard and the national anthem sung by Miss Kate Baker of Mill Creek High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Wonderful job. Now, the other voice you'll hear this weekend is that of our amazing game announcer, Mr. Roy McConnell. Now, let's prep the arcade for competition. Teams, come on and start your robots. It's time to power up!